Some flavors can only be crafted by nature. One sunny day, a honeybee discovered a mysterious apple blossom and carried its pollen to a Honeycrisp tree. Months later, something extraordinary was born. The sugar bee apple, with notes of honey, caramel, and molasses, balanced by bright sweetness and an extra crisp crunch. Sugar bee apples elevate everything from charcuterie boards and salads to baked treats and everyday snacking. Ready for some inspiration? Download our free recipe book and discover delicious ways to enjoy sugar bee apples at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar bee apples, from bee to you.
Everyone's talking about protein lately, but how do you actually get enough of it? Muscle Milk. Muscle Milk has a great tasting new formula with no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or added colors. It's high quality, complete protein designed to support healthy muscles with fewer ingredients than the previous formula and 26 to 42 grams of protein. For when you're stuck in meetings or need a post-workout recovery. Available in chocolate, vanilla cream, cookies and cream, and strawberries and cream. Try the new great tasting Muscle Milk today. Available in stores nationwide. Muscle Milk. Protein for all.
To get the Crime Writers on After Show right now, go to patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, the mayor tries to turn his small island town into a tourist destination, which is hard to do when the whole place is cursed. We'll talk about the Apple TV comedy horror series Widow's Bay, starring Matthew Rhys. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband and the love of my life. It's Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Also with us, private investigator, certified pet detective, resident cat lady, and author of The Final Curtain, Laura Bricker. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Rebecca.
And finally, it is our captain of all things cynical, author of the City Trilogy, host of Strange Arrivals, and our Patreon Deep Dive Book Club podcast. It's Toby Ball. Hola, Toby.
Hola, Rebecca.
So, Kevin, what is coming up in future editions of this program?
Okay, so on Thursday, we're going to have our classic rewind to season 1 of Suspect.
Yay!
One of Rebecca's all-time favorites. And then a week from today, we'll have a brand new, fresh episode of Crime Writers On, and we will be reviewing the latest season of Uncover from CBC. It's Uncover, the Expert Witness.
I'm looking forward to that. I have to say, Suspect Season 1 is one of the only podcasts I have ever listened to multiple times.
Yeah.
I've listened to it so many times, probably like 6 times.
Wow.
Because I'm like, because I always recommend it to people, and then I'm like, I got to listen to this to make sure that this person will like it, and then I just get sucked in and I listen to the whole thing. It's like my comfort listen. It's so good. It's like a puzzle. It gets put together, taken apart, put together, and I love it so much. So
Is
I'm looking forward.
Macklemore in it?
Yes, Macklemore is randomly in it. Yeah, wait, don't spoil it. Yeah,
This is not a
but it is
spoiler.
random.
Yeah.
He is a random.
It's pretty random.
It is. It's like as random as it can get. All right. Well, Kevin, I can't wait to talk about this TV show we're here to talk about. So can we get the show started?
Let's do it.
All right. Leading off.
There is something about these seafaring towns, the superstitions, their tall tales. Maybe it's that stories help pass a long day at sea. I don't know, but I find it charming myself.
Was there cannibalism?
No.
Well, the article behind you. Forced inside the church, they immediately turned to cannibalism.
I don't think that's right.
Mayor Tom Loftis wants to turn his struggling New England island town into a thriving tourist attraction. But some residents believe Widow's Bay is cursed, and his efforts to boost it are stirring up otherworldly forces.
It already took Shep, and it'll take the rest of us tonight. It's a haunt.
I didn't realize it was a haunt. I'm sorry. Could you remind me again? A haunt is worse than a spook, but not as bad as a fright. Oh, equal to a scare, right?
Tom is thwarted by his staff's bumbling ineptitude and a series of supernatural encounters that shake his confidence. As the skeptical mayor slowly becomes a believer, he works to break the curse in which any island-born natives die if they leave for the mainland.
Loftis, you know there's something wrong with this island. You've seen it with your own 2 eyes now. Come on, son. You're right here with me, seeing what I'm seeing. You can call it off right now.
No, I can't.
We can. It's not right to bring anyone here, you know it. Island's awake now. It's dangerous.
Recipient of 19 Emmy nominations, Apple TV's genre-bending Widow's Bay is this year's surprise hit. Nominees Matthew Rhys, Kate O'Flynn, and Stephen Root star in a show that is part absurdist office comedy and part Stephen King novel. Can a misfit group of heroes decipher why their island community is haunted, protect its inhabitants, and reverse the fate of its native-born residents, including Tom's son? Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from Widow's Bay. So if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the estimated time code in our show notes for our thumbs up or thumbs down reviews. Laura Bricker, I watched about 15% of this series from under a blanket.
Me too.
AKA, I listened to about 15% of this series from under a blanket or from the other room. What do you think about the actual scariness that this accomplishes?
Well, yeah, the scariness. So I did actually a video of me hiding that Lance shot when we were watching this. I was hiding under the bed covers because I was like so scared during the clown episode. But I think that's what's interesting about this show. It does a really good job blending horror and comedy with like a touch of cozy mystery. And it's not things that I would normally think would or should or could go together. And it's, you know, sometimes like one thing's going to overwhelm the other thing. Like, is it going to be too scary or not scary enough? Is it going to be too funny or not funny enough? But it's genuinely funny. Like, there's some scenes that you don't think should be funny that, like at one point, Matthew Rhys's character is going to potentially have to, kill this woman, this old woman. And she's so nice. And it's just like you're watching it and you're cringing, but you're laughing as it's unfolding. And you're like, how can this be both of these things at the same time? And it is. And it, you know, in the beginning, I was worried it was going to be too scary for me. And then it kind of leveled out as it went along. So it was kind of fit into this genre that I was like, I don't really know what we call this. It's pretty original, but it definitely had all those vibes of Stephen King, like you were saying. So it was very unique.
Including a jump scare with a clown.
Yeah.
Which I did not like.
I didn't watch that part. That's when I was hiding.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's like Parks and Rec meets Salem's Lot.
It was a Parks and Rec episode treatment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's why it's my... Yeah, right. Right. And Laura, you're right. It's like, how can these two things be in this, right? But it's also, how can they make both of these things fit and do both things so well, comedy and horror? It's not a mystery comedy. It's not a comedy thriller, right? It's horror and comedy. And I think, Welcome to Derry, which was on HBO,
can't fucking watch that show.
Was even scarier.
Oh yeah.
This is not as scary, but forget like doing these like think pieces on like, why do we like true crime? What's up? What's wrong with people who like true crime? It's like, why do we love the chills of prestige horror in 2026, right? But as you say, Laura, they do like both things really well. The comedy is funny, and because it's not too slapstick, it's just sort of like more absurdist, and Matthew Rhys is kind of like the straight man, and then seems very like bug-eyed cowardly. It works. It works because the comedy is funny, and that the horror, it comes not cheaply. It's really good.
One of my least favorite things is when three of us really like something and one of us doesn't. It's like one of my least favorite things. I feel like that person might feel ostracized, like an outsider, like perhaps they're outside of the fog of this New England island. But Toby, this show had sort of an anthology kind of vibe to it too, where episodes, to some extent, could have stood alone and been just like, this week, the big bad is like on Buffy the Vampire Slayer or whatever. But Toby, I see from your notes that did not work for you.
Yeah, I liked the first 3 episodes. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then it started to get more into these like near standalones. Like it starts off with Patricia's party, I think is the first one.
Sunset Cocktails.
And then there's like the shroom episode. There's the hotel, staying at the hotel episode.
You saw something, and you're still going to let folks stay here.
Don't you start with this shit.
You raise your voice.
I'm
telling you, this place is a trap.
It's not. It's perfectly fine.
Then you go in the captain's suite.
There's a just interminable one about the origin of the curse back in the like 1600s or something that just is just absolutely so boring. I don't know. Like, I think part of it was that it's just like everything can kind of fall under the, like, it's the island, you know? So some of the stuff didn't seem like it was connected to anything, like the Patricia's party. And then there's like this sort of Jason like slasher, and that's like a whole other episode. It's like, does this have anything to do with anything? Or is this like something else that happened that seems to be coming back? Like, you never even find out who the identity of the person is. I didn't find it very scary at all. It kind of seemed like sort of Scooby-Doo scares type of thing. And I mean, it's trying to have fun with like horror tropes, right? So it's hard to do that and also be kind of unpredictable. So there was a fair amount of time when it's like, oh, that guy's not real. Or, you know, the slasher's going to come back. Whatever it is, like the slasher's going to walk really slowly and she's going to sprint, but they're going to be at the same place at the same time all the time. And so I don't know. It just didn't work for me, and which is too bad, because the first 3 episodes I was like, this is going to be surprisingly good. And then for me, it just kind of fell apart, and the explanation for like everything that was going on was just so kind of vague and was sort of such a catch-all. It was so unspecific that basically anything that happened could be ascribed to it, including like weather, you know, what you're making your punch out of, you know, hallucinations at a hotel, all these different things that all get sort of put back to this original curse. It's just like, well, so anything can happen. So I don't know. I kind of, to be quite honest, pretty much lost interest about episode 6 or 7 and sort of slogged through the rest of it. But yeah, it didn't do it for me.
I forgive you, Toby.
That's all right.
Laura, one of the things I love about the show is the New Englandness of it. It's entirely filmed in New England. It looks like it. It feels like it. It has a timelessness insofar as for the first 10 minutes of the show, I couldn't figure out if it took place like in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or now.
Yeah.
Like, impossible to tell. And I think that was very intentional.
No cell phones. That's a big deal.
Exactly.
It's a big narrative deal. Yeah.
And yeah, that's something that Ann Patchett always talks about. It's like you can't have, you can't have characters resolving a problem if they have a cell phone in their hand. Like, you know, it's like a whole thing. There's a Jaws certainly homage in it. There's I mean, just it certainly has an homage, as we talked about, with the creepy clown, and that's also Poltergeist. There's all this stuff that sort of, I think, harkens to Stephen King as a very New England person. But also, there's, I think, a New England spirit to it. And whereas Toby found the episode where they go back to, like, colonial times, and Betty Gilpin is there as the wife of this guy, and it's all creepy and stuff, New Englanders care a fuck ton about what happened 200, 300, 400 years ago in this part of the world. So I got some of that there too. What did you think about the vibes of this show?
Yeah, so I think I agree with you on the vibes. It was definitely like, I could see like at one point when they went out in the boat, I'm like, with the old guy, I'm like, okay, this is reminding me of Jaws right now. And I'm like, oh God, is there going to be a shark out here? I was feeling some Twin Peaks kind of feeling there. I'm like, where's the log lady? Or, you know, because Twin Peaks was always, you know, you were also kind of wondering, is this real or is this not real? And it's only in this little town where these things are happening. Definitely Stephen King. And I think part of the bigger picture of that is I was always like, then I'm getting sucked into sort of the mythology, like the lore of the curse and the island. And, you know, is this something that's actually happened? Or is this something where, you know, generations of people on this island are actually so caught up in the belief that has been passed down that they've started to manifest it and believe it? And, you know, I think we see that through Matthew Rhys's character, through the mayor, who in the beginning is kind of like, seems like he's kind of brushing it off. And the old guy's like, it's happening again. But I think it's like, what causes this curse? Is the island alive? Which is true? What is superstition? How far back does this go? Is it the island that's cursed? Is it the people that are cursed? Is it something that they've, you know, why can't they get cell signal? Why don't they have TV? Why don't they have modern conveniences out here? But then it's fascinating because then that ties into the whole bigger picture of like how they're like marketing this as a tourist destination. And so there's that playing off against everybody being caught up in this mystery of what's happening in the island. And I'm caught up because I was hoping it was all going to tie together. Like Toby was saying, there was all these standalone mysteries. And I'm like, okay, how are they all going to tie together at the end? And I don't know if they necessarily did in the way that I was hoping.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate that New England vibe to this and feeling like I could just be off the coast of Maine right now.
Yeah.
And never coming home.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that one other trope they play with is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer trope, where they're these central people who are experiencing everything. And then you just see a bunch of background actors who are like tourists or whatever walking around, and you're like, they're not seeing any of this shit. Like, they're just hanging out here. Like, they're just having a good time eating oysters or whatever. And like, they're fine. And all these central characters are in the middle, like, there's a hell mouth opening up and a guy getting sucked into the sky and all that stuff. But Kevin, I want to talk to you about my favorite television actor.
Oh,
Matthew Rhys.
Matthew Rhys.
Man of a million accents.
Yeah.
What do you think about him in this program?
I really like him. I think I don't know if he'd be the obvious choice. He hasn't done a lot of comedy, as I can recall.
There's some very funny parts in The Americans, to be sure.
Yeah, but I mean, he's so good at this for a couple of reasons. One, he makes a great straight man. I think we were talking about this, and you need a straight man if everybody around you is weird, right? And that's where a lot of the humor is, where he's just really trying to keep it together, but everybody around him is insufferable in different ways.
And I'll tell you something else.
I just want to know if you talked to Mitch. I don't want any gossip, not today.
And you won't get any from me.
Great.
But apparently there's no age limit on syphilis.
Jesus Christ.
Guy says he's a quarter Cherokee. I ran his genealogy.
Did you talk to Mitch? Do you have any updates on the outages?
So that makes him a funny hero. But like his scared faces, like when he his expression, I don't think I've ever seen an actor look that scared. The way he's able to twist up his face, it rivals Claire Danes' ugly cry face. Maybe they were on the set of The Beast Within Me or The Beast in Me, and they're like, "Look at this! Watch, I can do this with my eyebrows." And someone on our Facebook discussion group posted something. It's like, he looks like Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I think he's great. He definitely brings He definitely brings, a unique skill set to this. He's, he's the big name in this, right? But I mean, the exception being, and sort of kind of underused, Jeff Hiller, who is Dale, the office worker. He's an Emmy winner, right?
Yeah,
and so,
but he can't get work. Have you heard that? He's like having a really hard time getting work after winning that Emmy. So I was so happy to see him in this.
Matthew Rhys, great. I mean, great in everything he's been in, but like, was he the obvious choice to play this role? No, but he fits it so well. As, the guy who doesn't want to start believing it, but slowly does.
So, Toby, what do you think about the characters in this show? I mean, if you look on social media, people love Kate O'Flynn as Patricia. They love Stephen Root as Wick. They love Matthew Rhys. They love Jeff Hiller. They love these characters. And I'm gleaning from your notes that is not the same in your case.
So this is the thing, is I like them all like as characters, but again, it's like, I feel like for horror to work, you have to have some investment in the people and see them as actual people rather than as characters. And all these people seem to be like kind of types. And I think it was like the actors did a great job with those types. Like I felt like that was where most of the humor came from, really was these actors like portraying these sort of eccentric, funny characters. But at the same time, like I didn't actually think any of them were ever gonna die. So like the horror like is kind of, it just seemed kind of tamped down a little bit.
You didn't think marquee star Matthew Rhys's character was going to die?
Yeah, I was never super worried about what was going to happen to any of these people. I think that kind of stuff works better in comedy than it does in horror. If you're trying to really scare people, and I think even more so, like the final episode contains like these extended scenes, which are kind of funny, but also sort of sad and melancholy, where Tom is trying to kind of get Rosemary to say things that will help him justify to himself the fact that he's essentially going to kill her to rid the island of its curse.
You're a good person. You don't deserve this.
You know, I had an affair with a married man.
That's okay.
I was young. That's not true. I was 40.
It didn't feel like it had earned, like these characters had like earned that kind of gravitas of that conversation, because they're always just so eccentric and sort of comedy characters who are in a horror movie, but not in a kind of clever way. I didn't think. So as far as the comedy stuff, I thought it worked well. As far as the horror stuff, I didn't think it worked well at all. And I just think about like Westworld, but there was this whole kind of thing where like there were people who talked like they were in Westerns and acted like they were in Westerns, and then they're around other people who are just like normal modern people. And that was sort of this interesting juxtaposition, and that doesn't really happen here. I guess that's part of my thing with this, is that I feel as though we've seen a lot of this stuff done in more clever shows. Like with the whole 1700s thing, I was like, well, what if the people who wrote Dark had that piece? Like, it just would have been so much more clever and tied into what was going on in the like current day part. It really didn't. It was like kind of this standalone thing that sort of gave you kind of an origin story, but the connection was just like, this is how the curse started. And there wasn't much more to it.
So Kevin, I just want to give you a chance to weigh in, because you also, I see from your notes, did not care for the 1700s episode.
Oh, no, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Because I love the characters so much here that, you know, it could have been a different way of sort of, you know, setting up that origin story or whatever, spread it out or, you know, whatever. I don't know. Other than sort of like seeing the face of the guy who ends up coming back as, you know, I forget the character's name, but the one who had been buried alive or whatever.
How are you still alive?
I was tricked by a devil and betrayed by my lessers. But an evil power sustains me.
Other than just like knowing who that is when you see him, I don't think we really needed to get that deep into what life was like in 1702 or whatever like that. Yeah. But I just liked being with these characters so much that I did not want to be away from them for an extended period of time, which is what's great about Patreon, is you can always have us.
Never be away from us.
Never be away from us, because there's always something that we're shooting up, putting on Patreon.
It's always something we're shooting up?
We're, you know, not shooting up, but you're having like weird mushrooms, but it's great stuff. Every month on Patreon, we're doing almost 24 episodes of stuff. It's a great deal, but more importantly, you're sustaining this podcast. The address is patreon.com/partners in crime media. You'll get the Crime Writers on After Show, Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast, our advice podcast, Married with Podcast, and Rebecca and Mel Barrett's True Crime Analysis in Something's Off.
Audio version. You'll also get Laura Bricker's Leave It to Bricker, in which Laura solves mysteries, or at least mysteries to her, in her quaint AF town of Exeter, New Hampshire. She's not going all the way back to like 1600, but like the 1700s, right? Yeah.
We do go pretty far back here in Exeter. We were the Revolutionary War capital of the state of New Hampshire.
Yes. And and you still have some of those muskets hanging around, I think. If you join us at the Let's Do What We Do level, you get all the episodes of Crime Writers on early and ad-free. And if you're a deep diver, you get to be an exclusive sponsor of Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast. Toby, on your latest episode, you had your guests included Samantha Axtell Prisbilowitz, Sarah Colleen, and Maggie Freeling. Tell us about the book that you read.
We read a book called Murderland, which I think was #1 in the nonfiction list for the New York Times at one point. It's this very, very strange book, but it's about, she kind of has this theory, which other people have had, and I came to learn on our discussion has been debunked, that serial killers, like there's this proliferation of serial killers in the Pacific Northwest because there was a lot of lead and arsenic pollution, and that led to their violent behavior or whatever. But it's a very eccentric book. We had a great discussion about it. It was a really fun talk.
Other ways to support us include our Amazon storefront, which is where you can find some of our favorite things. Rebecca, what are this week's Amazon recommendations?
Well, Kevin, as you know, every few weeks I like to get my nails done. I get the gel, which I know is not good for you, but I like it. I like it. I can't help it. But everyone always asks me about my signature color red that I wear all the time. And I just want to say, I buy my own gel nail polish on Amazon and I bring it to the salon with me and I'm like, use this one. And my favorite color red, my favorite shade of red is OPI Big Apple Red, which you can buy on Amazon. You can buy anything that you have if you go to the salon and they do your nails and you're like, what is that? Take a picture of it. You can buy it yourself and then you can have it in your purse. And it'd always be handy when you go get your nails done.
Speaking of carrying things around in his purse, Toby Ball has compiled his listener-inspired Toby Ball's deep cut recommendations.
It's a European man bag, Kevin. But
sorry. Yes, of course.
We'll start off. I think Lara probably already has this, but if not, she wants one. A funny cat butt tissue box cover. Realistic resin cat dispenser for cube boxes. It's a cat dispenser? I don't get it. Black. Oh. A realistic resin crouching cat tissue box holder. Tissues emerge from the cat's rear end for bathroom, office, or home decor.
Classy.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like the fact that it's realistic. That really...
Makes
that's
all
what
the
I'm
difference.
looking for in a...
You don't want to pull it out of a cartoon cat.
Yeah,
you want it to be
It wants
like
to be a little juicy. Look
David
like it
Attenborough's
smells bad.
level. Yeah, exactly.
Little Eye of Sauron
and then rub
action.
your face all over it.
Yeah.
Just stick it right in there. Next up, this is also a good one. It's fresh pig bacon flavored toothpaste. None of that turkey bacon, pig bacon. Gift
Pig
ideas
bacon.
for bacon lovers, funny gag gifts, fluoride free, very important. You don't want any fluoride in your
it's not good
toothpaste.
for you.
What's the point?
It's got bacon, but no fluoride.
Oh, is this for dogs or something?
No, it's for you. Starts your morning with the scent of breakfast. And again, it reiterates it's fluoride free. So you don't have to worry about getting fluoride.
Oh, there are some people in that little Maha movement who think fluoride is bad. That's a new thing.
No, it sounds like the fluoridation of the water was like a huge freaking freak out in the 50s.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. Well, you can see all that stuff and our other favorite things at amazon.com/shop/Crime Writers On. We actually have our own shop on Amazon. Yeah, we earn commissions on qualified purchases.
Kevin, before we end this business section, I have a very important question to ask you. Do we have any Patreon patron saints of the week this week?
Our Patreon patron saints are Heather Hawk and Alana Engel Chavez. Bless you.
Heather and Alana, you are part of the critical infrastructure of this podcast because we can't make it if we don't have people supporting us on Patreon, and two of you are part of those people. It's made of people, and you are two of those people. So thank you very, very much. We really appreciate you. And Kevin, does thus end our business section?
Thus ends the business section.
Let's fade that music out. So Kevin, who's the next sponsor for this fine podcast?
Oh, our sponsor is Quince.
Kevin, I'm wearing a Quince dress right now.
I know. Hold on now. Don't get ahead of ourselves. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. And Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love with things like, what is this?
Incredible linen wrap dress. I wear this dress all the time. This button-down, camp dress. I love it.
They've got such amazing European linin products.
The linen's
shirts that I have. It's great for the summertime. You
Pants
look
I just ordered.
very comfortable, yet elevated. Wait. I mean,
Elevated.
but we don't know. Hold on. You just ordered more stuff from Quince?
Did you see the package upstairs? It's a pair of pants.
Oh, that's...
I was European linen pants. I had to try them because they're a new style.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. At this point, though, Quince, please, you must name a whole clothing line after Rebecca. Because she has single-handedly kept several people employed.
Yes.
I think. There at Quince.
So make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/crime. For free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too.
Bonjour, hi.
That's QUINCE.com/crime.
For
free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crime.
Some flavors can only be crafted by nature. One sunny day, a honeybee discovered a mysterious apple blossom and carried its pollen to a Honeycrisp tree. Months later, something extraordinary was born. The sugar bee apple, with notes of honey, caramel, and molasses, balanced by bright sweetness and an extra crisp crunch. Sugar bee apples elevate everything from charcuterie boards and salads to baked treats and everyday snacking. Ready for some inspiration? Download our free recipe book and discover delicious ways to enjoy sugar bee apples at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar bee apples, from bee to you.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about. Like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
One of my issues with the 1700 storyline, which, by the way, when that guy, spoiler alert, turned out to like be alive in his coffin, and he's crazy. Just like a regular dude, and they're like, he's upstairs, and then you're able to talk to him. Like that was like so. I thought so deeply funny because he wasn't a zombie. Yeah, he wasn't. He was just like,
but also had some scares in him.
Of course, he had some scares in him, but they're like, oh, he's.
But that whole scene.
Are you fucking?
All right, just listen to what she's telling.
Oh my God, he's in there.
No, he's upstairs.
We moved him.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you move him?
Because he's still alive.
What?
Well, the fact that we also didn't get the reveal that he was alive, that happened off camera, I thought that was actually very clever. Because you find out they have the thing, they have it, and then and they're like, he's still alive. And they're like, what? And they're like, he's upstairs. And it was just, there was something about that I found very charming in a weird way. But the problem for me with the 1700 storyline was that they put Betty Gilpin back there, which meant that she wasn't going to be in the present day storyline and therefore going to be a very limited character in the show. And I freaking love her. And I also love the other actors. Maybe she gets
buried alive too. We don't know.
Maybe. I also love the other actors in the show, especially as you mentioned, Kevin, Jeff Hiller, who is in Somebody Somewhere, which is just a brilliant show on HBO that if you haven't watched it, you just have to. It's so freaking good. But Laura, what do you think about all these little characters? Do you feel like they were interesting? Do you feel like they were believable for the landscape that we got on the show? And do you feel like we got enough time with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't read into, like, this show was kind of like a fun summer watch. And I think there was definitely opportunities to have gone more into development of some of these characters. But for me, it was just more about this quirky island and kind of the stereotype of certain characters. I'm like, okay, here's this person who works in the mayor's office who like really very self-important. Like we've all seen those people when we were newspaper reporters or whatever. And, you know, here's the old woman who's still working in the city government, town government, who's been there forever. And the new sheriff who's come to town and, you know, from afar and isn't familiar with the ways here. So for me, I appreciated the characters just in kind of the picture of how small town politics, tourism, and supernatural and the relationship between all three of those kind of tied together using that small town setting and those small town characters as sort of the vehicle to tell that type of a story. And, you know, I think watching somebody that's a mayor in a little town and his entire focus is on the tourism coming to this island. And I love the scene where they have to go down, like the tourists all have to go down in like the bomb shelter and they're like running out of food. And it's like pandemonium. And
we're gonna sort it all out, people. Don't worry. Just be calm, all right?
He's right. We can go weeks without food. But not without water.
So yeah, I wasn't really invested like Toby. I didn't like get super invested in like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen until the end when we have, instead of a mystery, more of a moral dilemma that comes up. But leading up to that, I did feel bad. I was like, oh, I'm going to feel bad if he has to kill the old woman. Like I'm going to feel bad because she's making him tea. I am going to feel bad for that. But
do you think she was really going to?
No, but I was hoping he didn't. And then I was like, oh, that's going to be, if he has to do that. And then I thought she was going to sacrifice herself. I thought she was going to be like, Tom, I know why you're here. And don't worry, I'll kill myself so you don't have to.
She probably would have done that. She was so nice.
I was waiting for that to happen. I was waiting for her to be like, I'll take care of it, Tom. Don't you get your hands dirty here.
Yeah. So I really love the actor Dale Dickey in this. I have seen her in so many things. She kind of tends to play these like crotchety older women who, are the town character or whatever. And here she just, I keep thinking, when I
saw her in Hunting Wives recently.
Yes, but she's in tons of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I see her, you think she's going to be one thing. And in this show, I kept thinking about the fact that this was originally a Parks and Rec treatment because I'm like, she is a Parks and Rec character in the show. Stephen Root plays like he's sort of the Ron Swanson of the show. You have like sort of the earnest mixed with the I'm not going anywhere because I'm not getting my pension from this job kind of situation. And she's that. And then there's this scene, which I know not all of you like, looking at your notes, where she's doing the bloodlines and just like everybody's a lesbian, you know? So it's just like lesbians.
That's why they didn't procreate.
That's right.
Dead baby, lesbian.
Can you please stop saying lesbian?
I can't say that now?
It's the way you're saying it.
Fine. Anyway, this next batch, all retards.
Rosemary!
Please just get on with it.
Those are the kinds of things I liked. But I did feel that, you know, they're instead of doing the 1700s thing, as I said, that we could have spent more time, if we're going to do standalone episodes, with some of these people. And just like getting maybe a little of their backstory and sort of seeing what they're made of. So I don't know, that was something that I kind of missed. Kevin, you even note that the scares don't come cheap. What does that even mean?
If you've watched slasher movies or whatever, that sometimes like the jump scares just come because they weren't expecting it or whatever. I felt like, and this occurred to me in the episode with the sea hag.
Oh, I was not able to watch that one.
Oh, right. And like, okay, so there's the scene where Tom is like, he's drugged or whatever, and he's like trying to flee, and he's hiding in the bathtub. And then, you know, we see the sea hag coming and like sort of going towards the camera. And then we know like she's on the other side of the of the curtain. And it's more about tension, and it really builds the tension, and it does it in a really great way. I had the same sort of sense with the Sunset Cocktail Party. What made that was the twist about what the book was that she had actually been reading. And I felt like they did that one really. I was really scared. And I was like sort of titillated about how scared I was because it felt very natural. And I think that what it does is it works because it has great timing. And I realized, as Laura was talking, that's what you need in both comedy and in horror. You need perfect timing in order to make it.
And sex.
It's well, I mean, whatever. If you want to say funny sex, I guess.
You need perfect timing. That's what I'm saying.
Perfect timing. But timing is everything in comedy. Rebecca, ask me, what is everything in comedy?
What is everything?
Timing, right?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
And so they're able to do both, and they both work well as sort of this like narrative dynamic flow where it goes into each other. It's almost like the opposite of comic relief. I don't want to get like too Shakespearean here, but there's the classic is in Macbeth, where you have the scene and then Macbeth kills the king, and it is very high drama. And then what ends up happening is they cut to, this drunken doorman who stumbles around, and you get laughs, and it's literal comic relief. And then he opens the door, and the drama picks up again. And it's because Shakespeare brought you down so he can bring you back up again. And that's what this sort of does, that it's mostly a comedy and pretty straightforward, and you don't know whether you're going to get the laugh or you're going to get the scare. And I think it's because the timing is perfect for both of those skills. And that's why it's original. That's why it works.
So, Toby, you did not like the end of the series. Why did you not like the ending? Just go ahead and say it. It's okay.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on. The whole thing is like, we've got to, kill the last of the bloodline, and then the curse will end and everything will be fine. And then nobody gets killed that has anything to do with the bloodline, but everything stops. And I was like, were they just wrong? What's going on? And then it took a little while to figure out, at least for me. I was like, oh, wait, they saw that film and it's about sacrificing and something about the number of bells or something. So maybe that's what happened to that poor guy who gets locked by PJ or whatever that guy's name in the electric chamber or whatever. So I don't know. It was just so weird. It was just like something that wasn't even like brought up until half an hour before the show ends up being sort of the solution to the whole thing. So it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere because it did. There's also like, why doesn't Wick remember this stuff? Like,
Yeah.
Wick's got to be old enough to.
You know, he's only 24.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, why doesn't anybody else on the
He's a Widow's Bay 24. Yeah.
There's a lot of old people in this thing. Like, why doesn't Rosemary be like, oh yeah, we used to sacrifice people all the time. We just pick people out and sacrifice them.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that whole thing. You've got a team of writers working on something. Why do you feel like you don't need to foreshadow this at all? There doesn't have to be any clues along the way that then you're like, oh shit, that's why that happened. There's none of that. It's just like, oh, I found this video that happens to be out this thing that's going to explain something that's going to happen in 20 minutes that's going to end this season. It seemed a little cheap, to be honest.
One of the things I think that got a lot of love in this series was Lost. You know, the idea of a haunted island or cursed island.
Oh, the TV show Lost.
There's a lot of Lost references in this, including a random video that's just like a Dharma Initiative.
It's like the
video.
Dharma Initiative. It completely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Did you notice that?
I 100% noticed that.
Yeah.
Their sacrifice is our survival. The bad times will not end until the covenant is honored, and honored fully. Life for life. The island will make its needs known. One soul for each bell toll.
But the good thing about that is that it really sets up, the second season, but turns it in sort of a little different direction here. I don't know if we're supposed to believe that perhaps what they've been doing with the island is sort of sacrificing people so to satiate it or whatever. Like there's this whole other thing which isn't just find the sea captain and, drive a stake through his heart or something like that. So it's basically setting up a second season as being sort of a different problem to solve or a different kind of conflict using sort of the same setup. But the whole idea here of finding this old rotten film, that's interesting. I also did love the community access TV shows.
Yeah, those were funny.
That they showed. This guy just walking away.
The show in the show.
The show in the show.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, I definitely saw that. I saw a lot of Stephen King stuff, the slasher stuff. And I like the idea that it did bounce around a little bit. So it wasn't 10 episodes of The Sea Hag or whatever.
Oh, God. I couldn't have been able to watch it.
Yeah, it's like, unlike Welcome to Derry, which is, all those episodes around Pennywise the Clown and all that situation, it did hop in. Laura's like, no fucking way, right? For a hot minute, I thought we might do that one, Laura, but you can say thank you.
No, hell no. The opening scene is like a murderous baby that flies around a movie theater killing everybody.
Oh, that was the end of the opening scene in the car. Anyway, that's a whole other...
I watched the first episode of it, and then I said, yeah, no.
Tapped out.
All right, just side note here. I'm just going to say this, and then we can move on. That when I watched the first episode of Welcome to Derry, I watched it on demand, and I picked this show, and apparently I picked the one that had the sign language interpreter in the corner.
Yeah.
And I could not get it to stop.
No, and you thought it was part of the show.
I thought it was part of the show because all of a sudden you have a guy just sort of standing in the corner there, and then he's doing all the sign language stuff,
creepy music,
which is and I was like apoplectic. Then I'm like, this is ruining it for me.
Some flavors can only be crafted by nature. One sunny day, a honeybee discovered a mysterious apple blossom and carried its pollen to a Honeycrisp tree. Months later, something extraordinary was born. The sugar bee apple, with notes of honey, caramel, and molasses, balanced by bright sweetness and an extra crisp crunch. Sugar bee apples elevate everything from charcuterie boards and salads to baked treats and everyday snacking. Ready for some inspiration? Download our free recipe book and discover delicious ways to enjoy sugar bee apples at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar bee apples, from bee to you.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today.
and let us surprise you.
Feeling stuck with rising ad costs and flat results? Realize Taboola's advertising platform for businesses unlocks growth beyond search and social. Taboola's algorithm engages with high-intent users on the open web, accelerating their path to conversion. Powered by an AI model trained on over 500 billion monthly signals, Realize delivers smarter prospecting with privacy-safe targeting. The result? Higher conversion rates and scalable funnel at lower cost. To learn more, visit realize.com/podcast.
All right, let's let our listeners know. Should they check out Widow's Bay on Apple TV? Laura Bricker, thumbs up or thumbs down for Widow's Bay?
Yeah, this is a thumbs up for me. This was a really fun summer watch. Once I got past being really scared in the earlier episodes and like hiding under my blanket for certain scenes, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to continue to watch this show. And then I kept going, and then I could not wait for new episodes to drop every week because it's like nothing that you can really compare. It's mystery, it's horror, it's cozy mystery. There's humor in it, which doesn't seem like any of this should go together. It does. There's Matthew Rhys, and anything that Matthew Rhys is in is something that I am going to watch, much like Rebecca. And it had this very New England feel to it. It felt like it could have been somewhere off the coast of Maine in like a Stephen King story or something. It was a fun watch. It was like a fun summer watch that a lot of my friends were watching as well. So it was something that was good for conversation. And, I think there could be a season 2. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it could have just wrapped up in season 1. But overall, it was not like anything else in terms of fitting this into a box in the type of genre that this show was packaged and sold as. So it is a thumbs up for me.
Toby Ball, thumbs up or thumbs down for Widow's Bay?
Yeah, I mean, this just didn't do it for me. This is kind of, even though it's like got a horror aspect to it, it's kind of light entertainment. I kind of feel, and that's kind of hard to like go deep and critique in some ways, because I think you end up taking it more seriously than it takes itself, and that's kind of weird. But it just didn't work for me. I liked the first 3 episodes, and then it just kind of seemed to fall apart for me. I just stuff didn't really make sense. Like I couldn't follow like how things tied together, and I felt like it was never really explained. So anyway, I just, by like episode 7 or 8, I was just like, all right, I guess I got to watch the rest of this for this show. But I had pretty much lost interest. So yeah, I'm a thumbs down. I realize I'm the only thumbs down among us, but the idea that there's going to be a second season of this does make me look to next summer with a sense of I'm going to have to watch 10 more hours of this or whatever.
Only if Kevin makes you.
Yeah, well, I get the feeling that's probably going to happen.
Kevin Flynn.
I am a thumbs up for Widow's Bay. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I thought it was a really great balance of, like it says, comedy and horror. It's unlike anything that's on TV, and I can't really find, a historical peer to it. It has like the best of the scariest episodes of the X-Files, and also mixed in with The Office or Parks and Rec for its comedy of manners. I think Matthew Rhys is just so really good in this. The world building, I loved it. I'm glad I didn't understand all of it. I'm glad they didn't reveal every single thing about it. But as far as like a horror, it's not slasher. If you're not good with tension and suspense, maybe you won't like it. But I think that, the laughs, and because it's not gory, it's not violent. I think I can't think of like anything other than sort of the peril that comes with supernatural events. I think pretty much it's a fun watch for me. I laughed, I screamed, I jump scared, I chuckled. I am not going to pick up weird hitchhikers or go out in a fog, but I'm looking forward to the next season of Widow's Bay. Thumbs up.
I'm giving a thumbs up too, in no small part because one of my 2 favorite television actors is in the show, Matthew Rhys, and as far as I'm concerned, he can do very little wrong. Of course, his wife, Carrie Russell, is one of my other favorite television actors. Is my number 2 or number 1 over him. I don't know. They're the same. They're great. One of the great things about this show is that a lot of people started watching The Americans because this was their first thing that they'd seen Matthew Rhys in, because this is so popular. And they're like, what else has this guy been in? So they started watching The Americans, and now there's all this social media discourse about The Americans, which is, in my opinion, my favorite show in television history. I love The Americans. I think it's perfect from start to finish. And I think that Matthew Rhys and Kerry Russell are perfect in it. And
Do you remember the jump scare I had in The Americans?
Yeah, it's an incredible scene in The Americans where the kid walks in on them doing the nasty. So good. But I also like the show because of the way I watched it. And I'll just share my secret. I know I've said this in the show before. When there's a show I know is going to be scary, I read the recap of the episode before I watch the episode, because I am so a bundle of nerves about knowing at some point I'm going to be scared that I want to diffuse that and know when it's going to happen so I can enjoy the other parts. And that's how I do it. And I highly recommend it if you don't like suspense. I knew when I had to leave the room. I was like, Kevin, hit pause. I'm leaving for this part. Or there was a whole episode where I was like, I know I can't really watch this one. So you can tell me what was good about it tomorrow. But I know what happens. And nope. But I love it when a show makes me do that, because it's like, the parts that I knew I could see, I really wanted to see. And the other thing that I love about the show, I love the atmosphere. I love the deep New Englandness of it. It's a hard thing to capture. And because the show was entirely filmed here, it looks like it and feels like it. And so kudos for them for that. All right, now it's time for my favorite part of the podcast, a little something I like to call the Crime of the Week. 2 people in Kentucky have been arrested with a bag full of drugs labeled "definitely not a bag full of drugs." The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says the pair were spotted in a suspicious car in a parking lot. When he stuck his head through the window, the deputy noticed a clear plastic bag that appeared to contain narcotics. He then discovered a second one with an elaborate design, spelling out, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs." Despite the clever attempt at misdirection, authorities were not fooled. Novelty bags and purses with transgressive sayings have been popular items. Things like, quote, "not stolen office supplies," or "bag full of tampons," or "my last given fuck." It's not clear whether this was a custom creation, but they did spell "definitely" with 2 F's and no L's. The 2 people were arrested on outstanding warrants. They face possible narcotics charges in the future. So panel, a bag which says "definitely not a bag full of drugs" is a little too on the nose. What is the next criminal dead giveaway police will come across? Laura Bricker.
They are going to come across the 5-star Yelp reviews for this pair that are like, 5 stars, great product, great dealers to work with.
What about you, Toby? What is the next criminal dead giveaway police will come across?
A bag that says "drugs I am holding for a friend."
What about you, Kevin?
It's the special they have at Home Depot, which includes shovels and tarps and lime.
And definitely does not say "not a murder kit."
Not a murder kit, yes.
All right, that's going to do it for us. But before we go, Laura Bricker, do we have a cat of the week this week?
This came into me on Instagram through the DMs from one of our listeners, Jen Edwards. And Jen is sending along a picture of her cat, Meeple. Unfortunately, Meeple died a couple weeks ago after having a brain tumor. It was very unexpected and sudden. Jen took her in for an upper respiratory infection that wasn't responding to medication. A week later, Jen lost her dad, who she would also like to nominate for Cat of the Week because he's the best. So Meeple was an all-black cat except for the tip of her tail. She meeped every time you touched her head. She was perfect. And Meep is a very cute little black cat. I'm sorry, Jen, about your cat and your dad. That's 2 hard losses back to back, and we will be thinking of you here.
All right. Laura Bricker, folks want to reach out to you on social media to submit any kind of animal to be Cat of the Week. How can they find you online?
You can find me at Laura Bricker on Instagram and Blue Sky.
And Toby Ball, you live in Spain, so folks can't follow you around in person, but where can they follow you on the internet?
At Toby Ball 603 on Instagram.
What about you, Kevin? How can you be found?
I'm at Kevin P. Flynn.
You can follow...
the P stands for paranormal.
Oh my God. You can follow me everywhere, including X. Yep, I'm still there at Reb Lavoie. You can follow the show everywhere at Crime Writers On. We make a shit ton of stuff on Patreon, and you can get it at patreon.com/Partners in Crime Media. Our theme song was composed and performed by Tyler Gibbons, and this show was executive produced and edited by Kevin Flynn. This show was recorded in Studio C, the closet in our New Hampshire basement, where we also say stories of historic local cannibalism are greatly over-exaggerated. On behalf of all the crime writers, thanks so much for listening. We will catch you later. but they did spell definitely with 2 F's and no L's. The two people
No
were...
eyes. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. No one knows.
Partners in Crime Media.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter, from plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.